What is going on, guys? Welcome to this episode of Odds and Ends. Today we're going to be talking about 20 things that I recently sold on my eBay store. Garage sale seasons are right around the corner, so hopefully we'll be able to give you some tips, some tricks, some strategies, maybe some new items to look out for so you can make your eBay store or your resale shop a little bit more profitable. Before we get started, just a couple of housekeeping items. I want to try and make one of these videos every 3 or 4 months. I think as a learning tool, they're amazing. Every time someone that I subscribe to on YouTube makes a video like this, Shad Juice, True McFly, I always make sure that I watch because, like I said, it's surprising what you'll learn. And selling on eBay and selling on Facebook Marketplace, if you sell on both of those platforms, there's some different challenges that we face. And sometimes it's easier to sell items on one than the other. So first item, I don't need to tell you how profitable Pokemon is, but this is sort of the example of what I was just talking about. I bought a box of, it was a Nintendo 64, a couple games in there, Legos, it was all like $100. Well, we sold the N64 for $100, we sold the Legos for like $70, $80, so we're in the profit. Something like Pokemon Stadium 2, which we have here, we sold it for $49.99 plus shipping. I did not want to put this on Facebook Marketplace just because I didn't want to deal with the hassle. So, is this still available? And then you answer yes. Then they never reply. Would you take $10? No. Are you interested in trading for a big wheel? No. It's easier just to post something like this on eBay, so somebody can just click it, buy it, ship it, and get it out of here. You'll see on my listing, I put Pokemon Stadium 2 N64 2001, authentic boards and pics, plus tested. We go down to our pictures, take a picture of the pins, there's a picture of the boards, pictures of the item working, and I think that's crucial for listing because there are lazy people on eBay that would just put Pokemon Stadium 2 Nintendo 64, take a picture of the cover there, and not go that extra mile. If I'm selling something like this on eBay, I will definitely go the extra mile, take pictures of the board, take pictures of it testing, because that little bit of extra time is worth more than the hassle of Facebook or OfferUp, Craigslist, stuff like that. Just something I want you to think about when you're reselling some of these items. The next item is Rocket Knight Adventure. Same situation here. Got this in a box of Legos, action figures, and we sold it on eBay for $30 plus shipping. And again, it's just not really worth the hassle to sell it on Marketplace for me. Now, maybe for you it is, but again, just something, food for thought, something to think about on how and where you're selling these items. It may be easier just to sell it on eBay. So I buy a lot of these types of DVDs, these sort of fringe DVDs that aren't, mainstream like Marvel movies. They're like self-help, extreme sports, Banned in America, which we'll talk about later. But these are things that you may see at garage sales that people pass up on because people that go out hunting for video games and DVDs and stuff, they'll pass on this because they don't realize that it may have value. This was a 14-disc DVD set. Yeah, it comes in these 2 binders. I posted it for $49.99. Some woman was like, hey, I need this for my class. Would you take $35? Absolutely. It's something we paid $7 for at Goodwill, and we'll take $35 all day long for it. This is what these Banned in America, these sort of fringe DVDs, always take a look at them. But what's interesting with some of these DVDs is you'll try and scan it, and it won't come up. Check sold listings on eBay, doesn't come up. That doesn't mean that there's not value there. Take that extra step, just type it in, Banned in America 2011 brain damage films, and it may come up, it may not. If it doesn't, that doesn't mean that it doesn't have value on eBay. It just means that you really get to set the price. What do you think it's worth? And, you sell them there. We paid $2 each for these DVDs, sold them for $39.99 plus shipping. But again, something else to sort of keep your eye out for. Oh, sports game alert. Some sports games have some value. Some sports games have a lot of value. Some sports games aren't really worth the packaging that they were placed in. Here's an example, Madden NFL 12. Disc only, $20 is what we got out of that. Again, with video games, I like to test them and show that they're working. I think if you go the extra mile for the buyer, they look at your listing over the other listings, and they'll maybe purchase your item first or a little bit faster because you went that extra mile. You show that you're taking a little bit more care and ownership over your items. Disney Infinity, Black Panther, 3.0 Disney Infinity figures. This is something that I used to pass up on a lot. People give away boxes of these for 10 or 20 bucks. And I think it's interesting these 3.0 figures sell a little bit better. I sold a Spider-Man. I get this box for 10 bucks actually. Sold the Spider-Man out of there for 30, sold the Captain America for like 17, sold the Black Panther, as you can see, for 14 bucks. Buyer paid shipping on that. Now, these are items that are sort of interesting because GameStop really doesn't take these, and a lot of the local mom and pop stores, although they may take them, they have such a huge inventory of this stuff that if you walk in there, they may not even be interested. So again, it may be easier just to sell them on eBay. And the other thing that I want to talk about is shipping real quick. I always do calculated shipping, and there may be 1% of my store that's free shipping, but I always do calculated shipping, and I think of it this way. If somebody really wants it, they're willing to pay that extra $4 to have it shipped to their front door. Number two, if you do calculated shipping, if I were to ship this to Pennsylvania, it may cost $3.25. If I ship it to California, it may cost $5.25. So there may be a difference of $2 in the shipping. Now, on one item or two items every year, maybe not a big deal. But if you sell 100 items a year and you kind of cheat yourself out of $2 on the shipping per item, that adds up very, very quickly. So Disney Infinity 3.0 figures, I'm definitely going to start picking them up a little bit more frequently. Rock Band Dongles. Now, these are items I've talked about before. I don't have to tell you guys. Most of you guys that resell know to pick these up every time. But this is an example of using your verbal communication skills. A guy brought a box into a video game store, into the actual store. And he passed on them. The guy was like, yeah, I don't want any of that. I said, do you mind if I take a look? The guy said, no problem. So we went through it. There were two of these dongles in there, a copy of Wii Sports, a sealed copy of Wii Play, and some other sort of like fodder, Wii fodder. I don't know why he passed up on it, but the guy wanted 10 bucks for the box. I gave him 10 bucks, and we doubled our money just on this one Rock Band receiver or Rock Band dongle. There were two of them in there. We already sold them both, and we sold a couple of the other items. So again, don't be afraid to ask. Most of the stuff that I get at garage sales, you have to ask. Do you have any video games? No. Oh, okay. Do you have any boxes of Legos? Well, I didn't think anybody wanted them. Well, if they're close, bring them out. I'll take a look at them. Use your verbal communication skills. This is a true story. A friend of mine went to a large community sale. We walk up the driveway. There's a kid there. And he's like, not a kid, like a 20-year-old. And he's like, do you have any video games? And they're like, nope, sorry. And he turned around and walked away. I went up and said, hey, do you have any old video game stuff for sale? Nintendo, Super Nintendo, N64. I named off the stuff that I was looking for. Again, communicate. Oh, yeah, we got some Wii stuff and some DS stuff, and they brought some of that stuff out. So he asked and gave up. I asked and continued, and we were able to get some more stuff. That doesn't really apply to this, but I just want to let you guys know, talk to people, okay? Something I'm starting to get a little bit more into is clothing sales on eBay. I love selling clothing for two very, very awesome reasons. Usually people sell clothing cheap. It's unwanted. It doesn't fit. It's not the style anymore. We got this at Goodwill for $2. Sold it for $28.99 plus shipping. Very cool Air Force lacrosse jacket. Take a picture of the zipper, the tag, all that stuff. I do this with my clothing items. I always wash them, seal them in a poly bag, and then in the description I put, item has been washed. It's sealed in a poly bag, ready to ship. So when the buyer looks at this, they know, hey, it's been washed, it's sealed, and all this guy has to do is pop it in a bubble mailer and send it to me. Number two, my favorite reason is you don't have to worry about this item getting damaged on its way to the buyer, right? It's not ceramic or plastic where it's going to break. Quick ships, usually cheap prices on the clothing items. Here's another clothing item, men's Adidas black and white windbreaker athletic pants. Now, I put this one up here specifically for the listing title. There are so many lazy sellers on eBay that would just put Adidas black and white pants. Well, when people search for that stuff, they want either black and white windbreaker pants, athletic pants, tearaway pants, zipper pants, that type of stuff. Make sure that you're putting that in the listing title to help kind of get your item on that first page. So when somebody wants to buy it, your listing comes up there on that first page and gives you an advantage because most people don't go to the second, third, fourth, fifth page, to look for the deals. $2, $18 plus shipping, and I think I sold that within the first week that I had it. So it was a quick flip, and an easy ship. Beyblade Metal Masters travel case with Beyblades and accessories. Got this at Goodwill for $7, I think. Sold it for $27.99 plus the shipping there. Beyblades are a toy item that still sells really, really well. You go to a garage sale, you might find a box of these for $20. The big arenas, the little things that they all spin in, those go for a little bit of money. So don't be afraid to pay up a little bit for these types of items because they do sell. Another item that I sold, within a week or two of listing it on my eBay store. Beautiful travel case. Again, we went a little bit extra mile. We took pictures of everything in the case, everything sort of separately with the launchers and the little rings and all that stuff. So, yeah, Beyblade stuff sells really, really good. All right. This is a 3W war game. It's it's vintage. It's from 1990, but there is a huge market for tabletop gaming, especially these vintage type games. I got a bunch of these, $2 at a garage sale. We sold this one for $70, and then the buyer paid $15.05 for a priority mail medium flat rate box shipping. And yeah, glad to get that out of there. Actually, we moved those board games pretty quick. There's a bunch of different military strategy type ones, and we priced them a little bit under what they were going for. This item was actually, I think somebody had one for $74.99, $77.99. That's also another strategy I use is I look at what people are asking for them, and then I price it a little bit lower if I can to sort of help sell that item faster. Friday the 13th, part 8 on VHS. VHS, there's still a market for it. Okay? You can usually get them pretty cheap. Got this for 50 cents at one of the last garage sales that I was able to go to this past year, and sold it for $21.99. Don't be afraid to dig into boxes of VHS tapes to maybe find some of these tapes at the bottom. Most VHSs aren't worth a whole bunch. Maybe you lot them up, and sell some of the more common ones as a lot. But the beauty about VHS is it's media mail, which is one of the cheapest ways to sell or chip, these types of items: DVDs, books, VHS, Blu-rays, that kind of stuff. So media mail's so cheap. It was $2.80 to ship this. Under a pound, it's going to be $2.80, and like more than a pound, less than is like $3.33. But anyway, I make the buyer pay. We already talked about that. Now, guys, and I'm specifically talking to the men out there. When we go garage sailing, we look for man stuff, right? Beer signs, electronics, DVDs, video games, collectibles. Do not be afraid to take a look at what Mom has on her table, and we'll talk about that in the next two items I'm going to show you. There's a Victoria's Secret makeup bag. Comes with a little accent bag or something in there. Got that for $1. The next item we got for 50 cents. So, like I said, we got this for $1. We sold it for $10.99. We're not making our Lamborghini payments, by making $10. However, if you can come up with 3 more of these sales every single month, that's another, guess it depends on what the item is, but between $250 and $300 to $400 in sales. If you're a small-time eBay seller like I am, $400 extra in sales is a lot of money. So, again, $1, sold it for $10.99. These little pillows are about 1.5 inches, 2 inches by 2 inches. They're fragrance pillows. Women like to throw these in their lingerie drawer or their unmentionables drawer, and they smell like perfume, flowers, different scents, and it keeps the items in that drawer smelling fresh. 50 cents, sold it for $12 plus shipping. So on those two items, we spent $1.50 and we had about $25 worth of sales. If you can do that 3 or 4 more times a month at the end of the year, that's really going to add up. But don't pass up Mom's table because typically there's value there. There's some things that you can sell. I get asked this question a lot. Chris, you buy a lot of Legos. What do you do with the Legos? If it's a big box of Legos, 30 pounds worth of Legos, I'll take out all the minifigure parts and the pieces that I want. If there's an interesting set in there, I may try and complete it, and I'll keep that. But let's just say we had 30 pounds of bulk Legos. I sell those on Marketplace for $4 a pound, so that's $120. if we paid $100 for the Legos, we've already kept all the cool stuff that we wanted for free. Plus, we're $20, right? We've made profit. Stuff like this, Lego Friends minifigure lots. I am not going to put in the time to research every one of these figures, to see if they're missing an accessory, to find out what set they came from, etc., etc. I will lot them up and sell them cheap. We sold 16 minifigures, horses and accessories, $25, buyer paid shipping. This particular buyer has an eBay store where all they sell are these Lego Friends minifigures, and he gets between $5 and $10 a piece. Which leads sort of into the next question. Well, don't you feel like you lost money because you didn't take that extra time? Yes, no, I don't know. What I do is it's comfortable for me to sell it for $25 because we're already in the profit. And by the way, he then has to sell these for $5 to $10 a piece, not me. And I don't have to take the time to do the research on sets and names and all that stuff. Here's another item that I used to just throw back into the bulk Lego boxes, but I found that if you have like a set of 4 of these Lego Technic Tires, you can see I put the set numbers and the dimensions on my listing. You know, it's a quick $17 plus the buyer paid shipping. On an item like this, I will also put into my description, this item ships in a box, not a bubble mailer. So again, the buyer looks at that and goes, this person is going to take care of my item. I would rather buy from them. I actually priced these $1 or $2 higher than what they were going for and still managed to sell them. And I think it's because I mentioned that these are going to ship in a box. I'm not going to put these in a bubble mailer where somebody's TV is going to get smashed on it and, you know, some shelving unit's going to get, you know, put on it that's being shipped and it's going to smash these. I think it made a difference in that sale. We you know, made a couple extra bucks out of it. Plus, that's how I part out my Lego boxes, right, to make a little bit of extra money. Bud Light beer taps. This is something that I've never sold before. This is the first beer tap I've ever sold. But again, I watch, you know, some of these other resellers on eBay or on YouTube, and this is stuff that they pick up all the time. We got this for $1. I was out with Tyler garage sailing. We picked up a bunch of these for $1 a piece, you know, and we're selling them for $16.99. Not huge profits here, guys, but these little items really help out. They really help your monthly sales, and people usually sell these cheap. You can sell it for a decent amount and make a little bit of money, which is always nice. This is a lot of Buffalo Soldiers Motorcycle Club patches and pins. Got these at a garage sale for $5. This is an item I probably would have passed up on 3 or 4 years ago because I didn't realize there was value. I would never take the time to sell these individually. It's easier to sell them as a lot. Paid $5. We sold them for $25, so we 4 times our money on the profit. Again, buyer paid shipping. It was an easy ship. Throw, you know, they're in a bag, throw them in a bubble mailer, and off they go. There's low risk of it getting damaged. So if you see big bags of motorcycle patches and stuff like that out there, don't be afraid to buy them, whether they're motorcycle patches, Pokemon patches, you know, sports team patches. All right, so I wanted to talk about this item because I didn't know anything about this. I didn't even know there was a market for this, but for $5 a piece, we sold them for $62.99. These are vintage puppets. Now, don't be afraid to branch off into markets that you're unaware of. I just typed in vintage puppets on my eBay app on my phone, and you know, there's a whole bunch of them that came up. I saw that there was value there, so I just bought them all. And you know, these people that are vintage collectors, they want to see, you know, if there's any flaws. They want to take a look at the tags and stuff like that. Condition is a huge issue. And I get it, because, you know, I collect video games and stuff like that, and I want my stuff to be in the best condition that I can get it in. But I guess the lesson here is to branch out a little bit. Take a couple risks this year in markets that you're not familiar with. And more often than not, if you just do a quick search on your phone and find out that, oh yeah, there's like 100 listings for these vintage puppets, and they're all going for $20, $30 a piece. You find these at garage sales for $2 to $5, you know that's going to be a good investment. Last item that I want to talk about here is this Tactics Ogre for PlayStation 1. It's disc only. Again, we tested it. Here we go in the listing. We show pictures, all that stuff. But really what I want to talk about with this item is I was at it's a store called Was New. And they buy storage units and they sell it in their store. This was in a blank DVD case. You know, take the time to look through some of those DVD cases. You may find a home run like this or like Wii Sports, right? Got this for $5. I got it in a lot of stuff, so it ended up being $5 per item. We absolutely had a home run. Sold it for $64.99 plus $4.60 shipping. parts and pieces, right? There's somebody on eBay that maybe there's a buyer that has the case and manual for this that wants to have his complete. I sold it for, I think it was about $10 less than what the going rate was on eBay at the time. And so he feels like he got a good deal. He knows it's tested, but it's something that could have gotten passed up on. I don't know how long it was in the store and if anybody ever looked at it, but you know, I opened it up and went, oh yeah, we're definitely buying this. So don't be afraid to buy disc only or cases and manuals only for some of these higher end games, because you can sell those. People will definitely buy them. Guys, looks like that's it. We're out of items. Thank you so much for watching. I do appreciate all the support. Please like, comment, subscribe, share on social media. Bang the notification bell so you can stay up to date on all of your CM retro gaming goodness. I hope you have a very profitable and enjoyable garage sales season. Take care of yourselves, and we'll see you on the next one.